Welcome to Until Dawn, where they decide to stretch out the intro from the original 2-minute prank for it to be now 30 minutes because we really needed a whole background story of how the friends are not really your friends. Yes, because that'll make us love the characters even more. You guys remember, or actually you might not even remember, the butterfly effect. The whole reason this game even became a classic, because of all the options. And honestly, I don't even really understand how this became a hit, but it did. And so people were so hyped over this remake, but now we're all looking at it, it's like, you know what, the older graphics are actually a lot better, to be honest. Because no, let me tell you, like, low-key, I be looking at their faces and I'm like, what the heck is up with these faces? We take a look into the Washington siblings, which includes Josh, the big brother, who is alcoholic apparently, who can't contain his liquors, and also has some kind of mental disorders that we're not gonna get to right now. Beth, the other older sister, and Hannah, the gullible one, who decides to believe what is in the writing, which kind of weird because that has a creeping drawing of her face in the background, which, you know, if I got a love confession like that, I'd be like, who the turd draws my face for a love confession without giving it to me? And then you have the rest of the cast who decide to pull the prank, which I don't know who decides to think it's a hee hee ha ha idea to be like, oh yes, let's let the person who believes that we are gonna confess to the girl who has a major crush on the guy named Mike, who we all are gonna love by the end of the story. But we can't forget about this introduction, which this has been changed up in the remake a little bit to make it low-key worse for everyone else, because it low-key makes Sam more into this and everyone else play a bigger role. And honestly, low-key, what was the whole point of this prank? What was the prank supposed to be? Honestly, like, I'm trying to think about it, and I honestly don't understand what the joke behind the prank was, honestly, because so Jess was here like, we gotta teach Hannah a lesson because she is all up on Mike, and Mike is Emily's man. And as a best friend, Emily, I need to do what I can for Emily to be like, ooh, that's my best friend. Besties stick together, even though we know later on that they ain't gonna be besties no more. So like, the only ones who are innocent are Josh, Beth, and Chris, apparently. So we also gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this fact about how all the girls are kind of like done dirty, especially like in the remake. Because in the remake now, like, Sam has more incriminating evidence, because I look back and she did have a bit of a role, but it wasn't as incriminating. But this time it's more incriminating because you find out that she was the artist in the drawing. So she like colored it, or she made the drawing of Hannah, so which makes it so that Hannah's like, oh my goodness, like, Mike likes me, and you know, Sam is the best friends of the girls. So okay, let's just say Sam gets a pass though, because like, everyone's just gonna think Sam is best girl regardless, because Sam is kind of low-key the best girl regardless, because Beth dies, so you don't really have a chance to connect with Beth. Hannah, even though she is the victim, let me tell you, why is Hannah trying to get with Mike? Like, she is trying to steal someone else's mans. So like, Hannah ain't any better low-key. Hannah kind of doing some bad things too. Like, she ain't no no saying either. And then Jess, like, I know she doesn't get a lot of character development, but Jess, okay, she's the one who orchestrated the prank to begin with, which I don't understand what the point of this prank was. Like, I don't get the whole prank in general. Two, Jess is kind of like the value, you're like, and oops. But we don't really get much characters though, besides that her and Emily start beefing, I guess because she steals her man. Emily, we all know what Emily is, but okay, at least Emily is honest that she's a little bit of a Regina George, lack of a better terms. But Ashley, we gotta get into Ashley, because Ashley, so everyone loves Ashley, right? But Loki, oh my goodness, let me just say this real quick. Who the turd does a prank and does not charge their stinking camera? Like, how are you gonna go low battery in a prank? Like, think before you speak. Like, what the turd? Anywho, Ashley don't even stinking, yo, she's manipulative. Like, she is not even that great of a person. The only reason is because our choices we make her that she's a nice person, but Ashley is actually a horrible person. And like, dang, the only reason, I need to make a video on this, the only reason why Ashley works is because that she has like the trope with her and Chris liking each other, but besides that, she's kind of a horrible person. And honestly, in the prank thing, it's low-key confusing because it looks like Matt is confused about what he's recording. Like, he's recording and his frown goes really upside down. Like, I don't think he was understanding the whole concept of what he was doing. So like, I think that's the only reason why like people aren't really upset with Matt in his whole situation. Because let me tell you this, when it comes to the guys are a lot more turnabout when they come about the whole prank. Like, Matt and Mike become a lot more sympathetic in terms of like wanting to change. Like, they don't be so aggressive when they come back a year later compared to Emily and Jess. And then Ashley keeps to herself and you think she's a good character, but Ashley is low-key a fake snake. She's one of those people who be like, oh yes, like, oh no, I ain't do no wrong, but she's one of the evilest people. Nah, because I really need to say this, because tell me how, like it's only when it's your choices that really be making her a good person, but aside from that, she is very whiny. And it's crazy because I used to think like she's one of the common characters, but like, she's very whiny. For one, she survives the night because she lets everyone else do her bidding. So it's like she doesn't really contribute a lot in terms of that, but like she's really sneaky because of that. So like, you know, she survives the night because she lets everyone else do her bidding. But she will be like, oh, okay, Chris, shoot me, Chris. Like, you only deserve it because, like, you picked me last time, right? And then, I kid you not, she will let the man die. Like, if you press shoot her, she will let the man die. I'm just like, bro, what? Bro, didn't you say to shoot you? And not only that, like, her if you decide to be like unapologetic, she's like, well, she kind of deserved it. Like, she didn't have to be so like sensitive about it. Like, she's just like, it was just a prank, bro. Like, one of those YouTube pranks. They're just like, it was just a joke. I'm just like, girl. The only reason why people don't really realize it is because people love Chris. And so when people love Chris, you want the best for Chris. So like, you're like, oh, like we want Chris to get the girl of his dreams. So you're gonna do like whatever you can to make Ashley feel like the girl of his dreams. So be like, oh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. And like, you know, get them to end up together and whatnot. But nah, she fake. She fake. But okay, so like aside from that, it's just like, dang, you don't really have a good person. Like aside, technically the only good persons would be Beth and Chris. Like I understand people make mistakes, but like the mistake they did cost their lives. And it's one of those things where you're like, wait a second, you know what? I ain't even mad at Josh for what he did. Like honestly, I ain't even mad. Get your get back. Like this video is not gonna make any sense. But no, okay, like okay, think about it. Like you think that you inadvertently causing the death of his sisters, you think he's gonna be okay with y'all's, so that you guys should go back to the cabin. Like just think about it for a second. It's just kind of funny. Like just think about it. Like, does that make sense to you? Can we talk? Can we talk about how it's kind of funny that because of how the graphics are with the upgraded graphics, it kind of low-key looks worse in terms of the character design, because like the PS4, it looked innovative because like it was advanced, but with the PS5, they make their faces look mad weird. Like it looks like too much. Like it looks like they're going for a bit too much realism. So then the characters kind of like they in their 40s or something like that. Like for Chris, for example, he kind of looked like he in his 40s, my dude. And like Mike, he looked like he's in his 30s. And then you have the girls who kind of look like they're in their 20s or teens or something like that. But it's just kind of funny because it's just like, what ages is they supposed to be? Because as far as I'm aware, I thought they was in high school, because even though they're drinking, I think they're in high school because Matt has the varsity jacket and they're talking about homecoming. So from my understanding, they're still like senior year, or they're going to college. So it's just kind of funny to see them, and they look like they're about to be thinking of having kids and whatnot. So people are saying like the game is like a jittery mess and so forth. And to that I say, I mean, I feel like a lot of games have been like that recently. No one really cares when it comes to games. Like, oh, we can just fix it in post or afterwards. Like, no one really cares. But I feel like this game is low-key funny, like without trying to be. I understand it was supposed to be a cheesy camp. Like everyone was going about how this did what the core was supposed to do, but this succeeded in what the core failed. And I had looked at people playing through the original like 9 years ago, and then I looked at this one. It's pretty much the same with like a few extras, right? The reason why I wanted to talk about it was because this is low-key kind of funny, like the discourse about it, because the game is basically pretty much the same, right? Aside from like the graphics and whatnot, and it's still as goofy as ever. But it's like, the game, it came out 9 years ago, which is 2015, but the game takes place 2014. So like a decade, right? And like I was thinking about why like certain scenarios and whatnot. And the thing that had cracked me up about the story, right, is that I realized when watching this and playing through it, right, that half of this doesn't make sense. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good story, but the Josh prank doesn't make sense. And I was gonna make this into a different video. I think I still kind of will. But the prank that he had in mind doesn't prank the people who did the prank on his sisters. When I think about it, like, I think I will make this into its own separate video. But I just find it funny because he pranks mainly Sam, Ashley, and Chris. Chris is his best friend who had nothing to do with Hannah. Sam had the least amount, same with Ashley. So you think he would want to mainly prank Emily, Jess, and Mike, but the other people who was he even being pranked by him? Which is why I'm like, wait a second, low-key, what was his prank supposed to be? I'm sure someone else could explain it to me, which is why I wanted to make this video, because I was just like, does anyone realize this prank kind of does not make any sense? I was like, this prank don't makes no sense. Like, I'm like, wait, huh? I was just like, because I'm like, Sam was the one, like, Sam was the one that okay, at the end of the game, if you get the 100% route, essentially, right? He's like, I thought we had a connection. So it seems like there's a thing between him and Sam. Like, if he didn't fumble the bag real hard, he could have probably pound time with Sam, right? But he did himself dirty. So like, bro could have gotten with Sam if he dealt his cards right. But and then if he messed with Ashley, he would have just been messing with Chris's girl, which is Chris's best friend. So like, you would think that it would make more sense to mess with Jess, Emily, Matt, and Chris for the disaster, considering how it was just Emily and Mike who did most of the thing that happened to Hannah. But he does it to people who are least into the prank, which I just find hilarious. Like, what? And so that's why I find this story to be kind of funny. And like, I understand people love the Wendigos and everything, but I was like, wait a second, has no one ever thought about how that part is just kind of like tossed to the side? Like, I understand how he explains it's like, you guys gonna be so famous, we're gonna put this on the internet, y'all's gonna go viral, etc, etc. But like, yeah, that's it. That's literally, that was really talked about, not really much fit. And then like, I understand throughout the story that the Wendigos are really are like being like spoken about and whatnot, but I low-key feel like this goes extremely fast. Like, the minute like you find out that this was all Josh's doing, I feel like it literally just goes fast-paced to like, oh wait, okay, Windows, bam. Oh, I kid you not, because like this game is like 6 to 7 hours, right? And so I think you find out that it's Josh like at like the 4.5 to 5 hour mark, maybe 4 hours in, and the game ends at the 6 to 6.5 hour mark, and it goes really fast. It's like I was just like, dang, that quickly, like, because like, you think how they added more to the intro, that they could have added more to the outro when it came to this game, especially to the Jess and the Matt route. Like, Matt has a lot of story given to him. I guess Jess does too, but like not in terms of like surviving the night for Jess. Jess low-key just kind of low-key just kind of wakes up. It's just like, what the turn happened? And that's it, just literally. It's just like, I think I just like got yeeted. She literally just like, something just dragged me by my hair and pulled my weave out. And then she just like, why am I in the tunnel? Matt literally is just like, what? Like, gosh, Mickey, where am I? And he just like kind of survives the night too. Emily, okay, as much as people hate on Emily, as deserve, she does do the most out of everyone in terms of like her and Mike, like, I know why everyone likes Sam, but Emily literally can carry on her own, like, in terms of, okay, she literally survives, like, if you allow her to survive. She goes through the mines, she survives the, like, fire station incident and whatnot, and, like, manages to get to reconvene with the group. Right? I'd say, like, she still has to, like, do the other stuff with the other group, too. So, like, I feel like that. But I feel like people do not credit the fact that, like, that Matt is low-key her emotional support, too. Because, they're like, oh, Emily is, like, a boss girl and stuff. Because, like, literally, Matt is, like, the supportive boyfriend to her, and like she doesn't credit him. Neither does anyone else. So like Matt is like, oh, we're gonna find help, and she's like, but what if we don't? And he's like, but we're gonna find help. And he's just a reassuring boyfriend, even though she don't see that. And so like, even like when it comes to the radio tower, he's the one who's tells her to like, let's keep going to the radio tower, and like the reason why she goes to the tower, because he's just like, he even says it on the map, and she just kind of ignores him. She ignores it, even though it was his idea. He's like, oh, the tower, and then he's just like, oh, did I not? Like, he low-key forgets that he says it. He's just like, huh? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, good idea, even though he said it. Like, I literally was just like, you just said it, bro. And yeah, like, he just kind of disappears. It's just kind of unfortunate that he just disappears from her. I guess it's because like they wanted to give her time to shine, because she's just kind of just like a turd to him. But like, it's unfortunate that he doesn't really have time to shine if once that he's away from Emily, Matt. So that's the sad part of it, because it does give her time to shine, but it doesn't really give him time. So like, it does help, like, if he's by himself now with Jess, he like survives if you let him survive. But and then if Jess is alive, he helps Jess survive the night, but he doesn't really get to do much. So that's kind of sad. Like, I feel like Matt does have a character arc, but it's just not really seen, because like, you don't really get to see too much of his character, because he's not really one to really talk like how Jess and Emily are vocal, because he's very like reactive compared to like the other ones. Like, they're the ones who say things first, and he just bases his stuff on what they say, but like based off of what like the first thing at the like him and Mike kind of go through an arc, but Mike is more on the forefront because he is more the action guy, but Matt just kind of puts himself on the sideline. I just found that interesting. Yo, can we talk about how the real MVP of this story is the towel? Sam's towel. Like the fact that that never just fell. Like the fact that her towel was made out of some type of super glue, cause like I don't know how she was running with that thing on and it never fell. She must have had it super tight or wrapped or something, cause I never had that type of experience where a towel was just like, oh yeah, let me just stick on, like bro, like like yo, where'd she get her towel from? Because like dang, like I need to get that as a gift for one day. Like I don't know, man, like ooh man, towels do not have that type of luck. Like she's just like, yo, I got all the streamers. I got all the streamers. But honestly, the only reason I feel like this game was remade, does anyone even know that this game was being remade, to be honest? Because low-key, I just felt like this came out of nowhere. Like I literally opened up YouTube like the other day. It was like, oh yeah, until Dawn Remake is out. I was just like, the turd? Like there's no hype or anything out for it. I think the only reason it came out is because they're getting sequel. Like there's a sweet sequel for this game coming out. There has to be, because it is literally there was literally a teaser hinted, and they're not gonna make a teaser if it's not gonna be like okay, so like the secret ending. It's not even a secret ending because well, there's a secret ending with Josh. If you survive with everyone, Josh survives, right? But there's also an ending, and this is even if you get, even if people die, you will get the ending. Well, I guess Sam has to survive at the very least, but the ending is if at least Sam survives, I guess. Sam it's a dark ending now that I think about it, is taking medication to like get through her life. Dang, it's dark now that I think about it. So like I guess they wanted to make Until Dawn. It's a confirmed to make a sequel now that I think about it. And I guess they wanted to, you know, make some bread off of a remake, which, you know, make that bread, but $60 for a remake, kind of crazy to be honest. But I don't know. I think they got, not a remake. I think a sequel would be dope, but I don't really know what it would be about. Like, I don't think the Wendigo plot would be useful to have, but I do think having the people, all 8 people back, because technically everyone survived in this version. Like they had Josh survive in the I guess that's also another reason they have the remake, because Josh didn't survive in the original, because he turned into a Wendigo. So in this one, Josh does survive if everyone survives. And I just it would be kind of interesting. I wonder how long it's gonna take them to make that one, or if it's been in production, because look, I didn't even know this game was in production. But I don't know, what do you guys think about it? Because I've heard a lot of people do not like how the games have been, the people who make their games, especially how they didn't like the quarry and whatnot. But I think if it's something kind of like Until Dawn, it could work, at least with this type of cast, because I feel like with this cast in particular, people like the growth and whatnot, and they would like to see how they came about. Because with the other casts, the other cast didn't really connect well, I guess, because the stories were too all over the place, like with the quarry. But with this one, I feel like a lot of people think this story was fleshed out, even though I might have my different takes on it. So I think with this story, since people do feel like the characters are fleshed out, or fleshed out enough that there is potential for a sequel, and would like to see where the sequel will go. But yeah, this is just my thoughts on this game. I think this game is super goofy, and which is funny because I used to be like, this game is so scary, but now looking at it, I'm like, this game is so goofy and cheesy and whatnot, and it's kind of funny. Like, honestly, like the Wendigo parts are scary, but like everything else is like just goofy. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on Until Dawn, the remake. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know, and watch the next video if you're interested in hearing more from me. Anywho, with that being said, this is JJBEATS signing out. You guys take care. Bye bye.